this ready for football day in America? I am. Are you ready, Keg? Let's go, baby.
I'm ready.
I am exhausted. I drank about 9 cups of coffee today. I refuse to drink a Monster Energy drink. I refuse to do it, but I hope you're not drinking one right now.
Listen, man. Let's just.
You are. Your doctor told you don't drink Monster Energy drink. You're gonna have a heart attack and die. And
let's
what are you doing?
Let's just continue the show, Holden.
All right, we'll continue the show. That's fine. I have good news for you. We're going to be able to accept the memberships at some point in time this week, right?
Oh,
who's calling? Just pick it up on the air. Who is it, Mom?
It's Coop.
Oh, pick it up. Tell him please pick it up and tell him you're doing a show. Please. This is great. Don't mute it. Why'd you mute it? The guy muted the call. Is he not watching our show? That hurts. Coop.
Carry on.
Coop, come on, man. Our guy's drinking a Monster Energy, killing himself. You're calling us during the show. You're not even watching our best show. Maybe not our best, but one of our shows. You totally should have put him on speaker. I used to do that when I did radio. I just put it on speaker and be like, "What do you want?" And just do it. So it's as simple as that.
Last night was fun.
Oh, last night was a lot of fun. I think we basically pushed on the Sunday night show, which is fine. We got a doubleheader tonight. We're going to break it down. Our live show starts a little bit after 8:00, and I'm excited.
We did not push. We made money last night, my friend.
We did. I didn't even count it up afterwards.
We didn't set the world on fire, but I ended up making 3/4 of a unit.
Okay. So you basically
we made a little bit of money.
Well, for you that's $750. For me that's $75.
We'll take it.
Next week, hey, listen, guys, I'm not saying you should do this, but Keg's been on such a tear. I'm up in my unit size, so I'm very excited about this. I had a rough start to the season, just to be completely transparent with everybody, and I pulled back. 2 weeks ago, I went back to my normal unit size. Next week, 1.5 units to this unit. So I'm excited, man. I am really excited. And I'm just typing in the Discord right now, telling people that we're on. So talk to me here. We got a doubleheader tonight. It starts at 8:15, and then we got the game that's after that, right? So we'll be on live for both games. We got the Ravens and the Bucs as the main course, and then it starts with the Chargers taking on the Cardinals. Interesting. So let's talk about this, buddy. 2 games tonight. Again, live broadcast will be free. The next time we do a game will be Thursday night. We do that for free normally. And then we're behind the paywall. So enjoy it. Get your money ready. Because how many people have asked us to sign up while we haven't been able to sign them up?
Quite literally, bro. Probably 30, 40. I don't know. A lot.
Yeah. This is great, though. This is great. Great news for you, for us, for everybody. Let's get it tonight, though. And we're going to start with our first game, and that's going to be the Ravens and the Bucs, right? So, I mean, this line now is 4.5, and it was 3.5 earlier in the week. It's kind of settling at 4.5 now. The total is 49.5, and that's up about a point from earlier in the week. So talk to me here. Ravens at Bucs. Actually, this is the first game, which really is the main course, and then the later game is the Chargers Cardinals. But this is going to be a fun one, man. We got one on ABC, we got one on ESPN, so we'll have, we'll be able to catch up. We can watch on the sportsbook apps, anyways, to watch that. But Ravens Bucs, and I know you got a lot of plays in this game.
Yeah, I do. I have a lot of action already. I like the totals in tonight's games rather than the side. I think the Ravens feel like the side, but like this morning you could have got 3.5. Obviously, it's moved, but the Bucs are a playoff caliber football team. I think. Are they elite? No. But they're average at worst, especially at home. Like if Tampa took money and the Ravens were 3, I think it would be debatable. It would be a different story thinking about taking them. But I think that the play in this game is the Ravens team total over 26.5, which we hit earlier. They've hung 30 in basically against every team that they should have this year. And I don't see this week being different. The Bucs defense isn't lighting the world on fire. They're like 25th in defensive success rate, 25th in EPA per rush, which is going to be a problem against this team that runs the football better than literally any team in the league. Now, like you and I spoke about 5 minutes ago, ordinarily, if I was getting the news that Vita Vea was active and playing, I would never, back a running back on a team. But it's hard not to look at guys like Henry tonight because I just think that they're the exception to the rule. So, what worries me, like Tampa's going to move the football, right? Baker's going to get his tonight. I was thinking about Baker's 300 plus. But what worries me is that the Ravens are going to eat a ton of clock in this game. He might not have the time to get to 300, even in a game script where they're getting boat raced. So we got a lot of action in the game. I like where we're at. But if we were going to give out a play in this game, I would say the Ravens team total over 26.5. I just don't think Tampa's going to be able to stop them.
So again, we're free tonight. We're going to be free tonight, and this will be the last chance you really get for the pre-flop plays. You can go to nukethehouse.com, check us out. When we come back, you're going to have to go and become members. And again, we've had a lot of people asking to become members. So you'll have your chance, $59.99 a month. I think we get everybody back in there, and it'll be all
and then some.
Go. Yeah, and then some, and then some. Absolutely. We got Hershey in the house. We got the kid in the house who wants the Monster Energy drink can. Not sure it's going to happen. You're not allowed to put me on timeout. Great to see Keg alive. Michael Belcher, it's good to see you alive. Let's go, says Isaiah.
Let's go, Mike.
We got God's masterpiece in here. Thoughts on the game over? You like the team total for the Ravens more than the game over. So
I do. I don't mind the over. Like I think of the side in total, the over in this game feels like the play for sure. But I'd rather just target Baltimore.
And then we got another free night. You guys are generous. Yeah, we don't want to do it, Card Addict.
Yeah, we don't want it. We don't
want to give away free money, but
we had no choice.
Yeah, for a couple more days, Card Addict, and then you'll be back in the saddle. So then Ethan said Lamar rushing and Baker passing. That's all we got to bet on tonight. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Lamar's numbers like 15 yards under his average this year. I thought about hitting it too, to be honest. He's probably going to get there tonight. So I'm with you there. I don't know if Baker gets to 300 tonight. I don't know if he's going to have enough time.
Interesting. Okay, and then we got Tampa Bay running backs from Tim. Which one do you think leads the Packers at a split? Is White should be coming back tonight? I don't want to mess with that, dude. I do not want to mess with that whole debacle in the backfield, especially not against the Ravens' run defense.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's just hard to know. Is it going to be Bucky? Is it going to be White? It's hard to know. I'd rather just avoid it. Honestly, like, we're free, right, Kush? Everybody has access to the website today.
Unfortunately.
So can't we just talk about where we're at? I mean, it's free.
Right? How about we leave like 2 bets on the table just so they have to go to the website to see the other ones?
All right. Yeah, that's fair.
Let's talk about Baker Mayfield rushing because that's my favorite one that you gave out.
Okay. So, yeah. If we were going to back somebody running tonight for Tampa Bay, we chose Baker Mayfield. The number for him, 12.5, I think is more than fair. But the number for him to get 25 plus at plus 340 that we hit, he's gotten there half the year, basically. I just don't understand the number. And when you consider the fact that Baltimore's probably going to live in the backfield tonight because their pressure rate is excellent, Baker's going to have to move. And I mean, for him to get 25 at plus 340, that number feels wrong to me. We hit the button. We also bet it's 12.5.
So we also had a question. Rashad White is back tonight, by the way. So Vea's in, Trey Palmer's in. I know we had a question about Sterling Shepard here. I'm not messing with Sterling Shepard. It's not the worst, plus 180 for 25 plus is fine. But if Trey Palmer's back, now it's really that wide receiver depth chart is just a disaster for the Bucs. Almost as much as what's going on with the running backs. The only difference is we know Godwin's at the top of the pecking order with Evans. Evans is always on the injury report. He goes out and he plays, and sometimes he just breaks the slate. So that's another thing. But Palmer back in there, that makes me a little worried for the rest of them because they got Palmer, they got McMillan, they got a whole bunch of jabronis down at the bottom of that depth chart that could show up at any time. And Palmer's been gone for a little bit.
Can I like Baker running right? 29, 42, 34, 21, and 10 this year. How are they offering you 340 at 25 plus? That just doesn't that feel wrong to you?
A little bit. Definitely.
I think we're gonna have a night tonight, Kush.
Yeah, I agree. Just it's always been a night lately. And I looked at my balance last night and it's way up. It's just way up, and it makes me very happy. All right, let's get to the next one and go to nukethehouse.com. If you like what you're seeing here, it literally takes no effort unless you're Stephen Hawking. And he could probably even have gone from his wheelchair to the computer and just hit the like button. So just hit the like button.
Okay? Yeah. One note, King says, isn't Baltimore horrible against the pass? Like in terms of their secondary, they haven't been great. But what scares me about Baker if we want to start looking at his alts 300, 325, the time of possession for Baltimore is frightening. They could have the ball 41 minutes in this game. I mean, legitimately, where you're talking about 20 minutes of game time for somebody like Mayfield to have to get 300. That worries me a little bit. So that's the only reason why I haven't bet him yet. I might get there. I know Meyer bet over Baker's yards. I have to think about it, but it just worries me. The time of possession worries me.
Tyler, Ravens, Chargers, moneyline parlay, easy Monday winner. Nothing's easy, dude. You know that, Tyler. You know nothing's easy. I mean, on the surface, though, I don't see how the Chargers should lose this game in Arizona, and we'll talk about that in a second. But let's dive into that game. Again, if you like what you're seeing, like button would be great. And then subscribe to our YouTube channel. We get a lot of people watching on X. Just come on over to YouTube, then get to Nuke the House. Just type in Nuke the House in the search. It'll take you right here. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications. You'll know when we're on. It's pretty simple stuff. Game 2 tonight. We have the Chargers -1. So this thing kind of moved. It was the Chargers 2.5 early in the week. It was the Chargers -1.5 yesterday afternoon. Wake up today, it's 1 across. So there's a whole bunch of money coming in on the Chargers, or on the Cardinals, I should say, like sharp money. 44 is the total. Not too much of a change there. 43.5 earlier in the week at some books, 44.5 at some books. 44 is where it's sitting again. And maybe it's just me looking at this too simply, but the Cardinals are horrible against the run, and J.K. Dobbins should have a night. He should have a night. What do you think of Dobbins?
I looked. I still want to dig into player props in this game more while I'm doing the game plan, but I did look at Dobbins. My worry is that he's really hit or miss. Like there's a couple games where he was completely MIA, and then a few games where he totally smashed. So I'm going to look into Dobbins a little more, but I get what you're saying. Like he would be one of the guys that I would want to target in this game if we're going to dig into player props. But I'll let you know before we go live for sure.
Yeah. Again, this is more situational than anything else, but because there's only 2 teams that give up more rushing yards per game than the Cardinals.
Sure.
Colts at 160, Carolina 162. Arizona gives up 153 yards a game on the ground.
Yep. Which is why you have to look deeply into Dobbins, because the Cardinals' run defense is atrocious. So I'm with you. Now, everything that you just said would lead you to think lean Chargers here, right?
But
my opinion is I don't know who wins this game. I could see both teams getting the job done tonight, if I'm being honest. What I cannot see in this game is how this game gets over 44. Like 40, you can probably get 44 and a half at around minus 115. This number is 2 touchdowns under the average final score of a Chargers game this year. Combine that with the fact that the Chargers can't finish a drive to save their life. They're currently sitting bottom 2 in red zone offense, and I think red zone efficiency, but I have to check the second one. And then, like, you look at the advanced metrics for the Cards this year, and they're far from setting the world on fire. They're barely in the top 20 in EPA per rush and pass. It just feels like a game that trends under to me, and it feels like a game where we're going to see drives stall a lot in this game. So I lean under, man. I lean under 44 and a half. If I was pushing the button tonight on a side or a total in this game, I would be betting under 44 and a half, probably a minus $1.15.
Every Chargers game has gone under that number. And I think every Cardinals game has gone over the number, except for the Lions game. Okay. So, if you lean Chargers, it's probably going to be a lower scoring game. You lean Cardinals, maybe you think the game goes over a little bit. But again, this Justin Herbert at this point in his career now in this system is not a guy that's going to light the world on fire. He's just not. Quentin Johnston, who looked great early in the season, really not I don't even think he's going to play tonight. He's doubtful. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that Harbaugh just has a system, dude. Run, 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 run. The one guy that I was looking at, and I want you to dig into him if you can. Maybe it'll be Iowa. Maybe you'll just say this is stupid. So Hurst is out tonight, and Will Dissly has just quietly, puts up 2, 3, 4 catches. Will Dissly is a guy that I could see in use tonight. And I found this from the DFS side. Now, DFS and betting doesn't always correlate, okay? Just because you have a guy that could score a certain amount of points because of his value with the price that he is does not correlate to a guy going over. But to me, Will Dissly is a guy that could be involved that nobody is talking about.
So what are you looking at? What are you thinking? Receptions?
Yeah, I think that receptions would probably be the
yards aren't really there, right? I mean, 26, 24, 19.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't worry about that, but let me go check out the where it exactly is with the receptions. Because if it's 2.5,
he's had at least 3 in 3 of the last 4 games.
3.5 plus 130. So they did, you know what? The books know. This thing
he's only gone over that number 1 time this year.
Right. But now he's the only guy.
Right.
He's the only guy. So again, maybe this is something where it's a live betting target. And that's what we do best. That's what Keg does best. I mean, his pre-flop play has been killing, but maybe that's something that we need to look into. So Hayden Hurst did not play in that last game. He was active for the first 4 games of the season. And then we saw Will Dissly put up 4 catches in his last start, I believe. Let me see. 4 catches for 26 yards. I mean, that's going to be a sweat, but that's a number that I think if he doesn't get used in that first drive or two, that when it gets to 2.5, it's an auto bet from me, which means you should probably go to the under, but still.
That honestly, that's not a bad way to go, because you would have to think that the odds of him getting like immediate early usage is probably bad, right?
Yeah.
So I think you got a fair chance to see that number get to 2.5 and then hit it live.
Do you know what they did against the Broncos? Lad McConkey, who's questionable, 4 for 43. Semi Fehoko, two catches. Kimani Vidal, 2 catches. Josh Palmer, 2 catches. You know who led the team in receptions? Dissly and McConkey. So it's matchup dependent.
Right.
But I think Dissly is a guy to look at. Again, maybe it's more DFS than actual betting, but if we can get that number, let's just say if he's targeted once, doesn't make a catch in the first couple of drives, and I can get that at 2.5 with some decent, the juice isn't too bad. I think Dissly's my guy tonight that I'll go to. So that's a deep drive, deep stab.
I'll buy that.
Yeah. So, and then you got to look at what the Cardinals do against tight ends also. But the Cardinals are just bad, man. The Cardinals are just a bad football team. I don't think they're poorly coached. I just think that Murray has not been able to put it together. And defensively, they are a train wreck, man. They're an
They are.
absolute train wreck, which is why I love the rushing here. All right, let's go look at this. This is just rudimentary stuff, but against the Patriots had 4 catches from the tight end position. Kittle had 8, but Disley isn't Kittle. Ertz had 3. Brock Wright had 4. I mean, there's just some stiffs in here that stepped up and had some catches. So I don't think the Cardinals are the worst team against the tight end, but we've spent too much time on Will Disley. So
I'll tell you,
if you're watching, please go look into him.
I'll tell you one thing, man. I thought like really long and hard about James Conner today, but like, how do you fade the number 1 defense in EPA per rush?
Receiving yards.
No, I'm talking. Oh, yeah.
I mean, how do you fade it? Okay, well, you get around that by taking his receiving yards.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's possible.
If you wanted to do that, you know?
Yeah.
And by the way, for the guy that is saying that Herbert's been awful this year, he's not been awful. He's just not throwing the ball a lot. This is a run-based offense now.
Yeah, I think he only has like, what, 800 passing yards through 6 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, he just has not been asked to throw.
Right,
and it's
right.
working. Defense and running the ball. That's something else that we should probably get into at some point in time, you know, maybe tonight. Teams are running the ball now. This is not your typical shootout season where they're throwing the ball 60 times a game.
And you know what, Holden? If you notice what we've done the last 3 weeks, almost all my ladders have been running backs.
Yeah.
Almost all of them.
But again, look at Herbert. 64% completion percentage, fine. 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. You got to like that. Justin Herbert has not been bad. Justin Herbert is not being asked to throw 1,000,000 times a game like his 2 idiot coaches before him.
Yeah.
That's doing fair. What is asked to be done.
That's fair.
Marvin Harrison Jr. coming back off a concussion from King J.
That kid's been so hit or miss, man. He sets the world on fire or he's just MIA.
So if you're going to bet him, I wouldn't even bother with just the number. I'd ladder his ass. His number's only 51.5, but again, up, down, up, down. Harrison's a tough guy. Tough guy to hit, man. Tough guy to hit. Tyler again. Kyler, last game before the new Call of Duty game comes out. I mean, that's got to be a play here. That's got to be in play. So those are the 2 games. You haven't placed any bets on the second game though, right? So just turn your notifications on or get over into the Discord and make sure where are we putting them now? In-game plays still? Is that where you're posting them? So make sure if you're in the Discord, in-game plays is where the breaking bets come out, and you're going to want to hit them pretty quick when Keg moves the line sometimes. Now, you didn't move the line on anything today, which was nice. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Maybe it's too early in the day, but again, you're going to want to be in there to do it, or you can go to nukethehouse.com and check out the spreadsheet. You're always doing this. You're always just shaking your head when you do a show with me.
They don't care about me. They don't care. Maybe the alternative player prop market, I might move something. But other than that, they could literally care less about me.
Thank you, Jason. I appreciate it. A legend in my own mind. So those are the 2 games tonight. And you would say the Ravens team total over is your favorite. And for me, your Baker Mayfield ladder is my favorite.
Yeah, I'm with you. And
should we bet his number?
I bet his number. Yeah, 12. Yeah, we bet it.
Well, we bet it, and then we went up to 25, right?
Right.
Okay. No.
And I would say my strongest lean in that second game is under 44.
Yeah, I'm just looking at all the bets that I put in this morning. It's just wonderful. Did you give out Zay Flowers too? Was that yours?
That was me. Not on the show though.
No. And again, Tyler, I think you're screwed because I used a free bet today on the money line for the Chargers and the Ravens.
You're doomed.
Yeah, I think you're screwed. Sorry, buddy. But you and Kevin are in a world of losses tonight. Hey, like button would be great. Click on the the YouTube subscription button, subscribe to our channel. We will be putting the site back behind the paywall this week, and we'll be taking memberships only. So hopefully this run that we've been on, you understand how good this place is at Nuke the House, and you're going to win money if you do things the right way. You know, you don't have to watch the live show. You are getting live real-time in-game betting notifications, but watching the show is going to get you the best number. Keg, what do you think about Rachaad White over 7.5 rush attempts, but under 25 yards rushing at 5-1? Ooh,
Oh, that's
interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. Man, I wish I knew how much they respect Bucky Irving. Like, what do you think, Holden? Do you think he starts to take the job away from him?
I don't. Maybe in the past, you know, White catches passes too, but White has averaged basically 10 carries a game. And in his 2 games before he left, though, he got 49 and 72 yards. But we're talking about the Ravens here, right? And they could keep him down to 2 yards per carry very, very, very easily. I think Irving's going to see his work, though.
I mean, I looked at Rachaad White because his 25 yards is plus 250, and his 50 is 12-1.
Shit, that's almost worth it. It's almost worth a bet, even though I don't think he's getting there. 12
like, I don't think he's getting there either. But like,
what's his 40? Like 40 could be in the realm of possibility. 30, 40 yards. I could go around and look at the projections too.
His 40 is 650.
His projections around the industry, 32.9 yards tonight, 24.5 receiving yards. And these are just baselines. I mean, it's not you. It's just something to look at.
24.5 receiving yards, and like you could go bet DK 25 plus right now, plus 250.
Oh, sheesh. Really?
Yeah. I looked at it hard.
I mean, that's the way to attack it.
I looked at it hard earlier.
Because he's getting work in the game.
But the problem is, like, you really if in order to hit that 25 plus, Bucky Irving really can't eat away that many opportunities catching the football.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I wonder if Sean Tucker gets some work too, because he looked better than Irving. Irving looked great in that last game, but Tucker looked even better. I think he looked great. So, yeah, they call it buck and toe. Buck and tuck is what they're calling that backfield there. So, again, that's another position on the Bucs where it's just a cluster. You got every wide receiver below Godwin and Evans. Who the hell knows, especially with Trey Palmer again being back in the mix. Then you've got the running back situation, which could be a 3-headed monster. So what's the consistent here? Baker Mayfield runs.
Yeah.
That's it. So, okay, good. Let's move on. How does that sound to you? We got a lot of stuff to talk about from the weekend, but I did want to bring up MVP odds to you because for whatever reason, Mahomes, who's thrown more picks than touchdowns, is still the favorite at plus 350, which I mean, don't get it.
Let me tell you right now.
Why?
Your MVP right now is Jared Goff.
Well, he's at 8-1, and Adam got me on him at like 20-1.
Yeah, I bet him at 25. So I mean,
what's $50 turned into 1,000? Whatever that is.
20-1.
Okay, 20-1. That's what I'm on.
Yeah,
and I hope you're right.
I think right now he's the MVP. Right now, I think it would have been Brock had they won yesterday.
No,
but right now I think Jared Goff is your MVP.
If Daniels has to miss a couple games, he's out. Love's at 13-1.
Forget about that. Kid's got no prayer in hell to win the MVP.
Love is 13-1. Stroud's 8-1. Stroud didn't even throw for 100 yards yesterday. Lamar 5-1. They're never going to give him another MVP right now. And then there's Josh Allen at 5-1. And it's not like that offense looks great, but Amari Cooper is going to help him out a lot. But I think the Goff bet, even at 8-1, is still live, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, based on other prices around him, yeah. But I think you could have got before that Viking game, he was still, I think Adam and I looked at it, he was 18-1 on Sunday morning. So they moved that line $10 off the Viking win.
That's a lot, man.
That's a big move. But
That
I mean,
is a
you
lot.
you beat an undefeated team who beat Houston and San Fran. So I get it. And Green Bay.
Can we
They beat
set
Green Bay, Houston, and San Fran, Minnesota.
Can we set the lines for the next NFL coach to be fired? Because they haven't been dropped yet. I don't see him anywhere, but it's still Peterson, right? Like minus 400 to be the next coach fired. He has to be.
Oh,
Peterson has to be.
I would think so. Yeah.
If it was you and me, it would be Sirianni first, but
yes,
but that's not you and me. That's
bro.
just us having an issue.
Could we start in that game? Because Sirianni, bro, what a crumb. We're on Saquon Barkley 2+ touchdowns at 4-1. The kid comes back home, gets the first one easy. He could have got every touchdown in that game except the AJ Brown touchdown.
Yep.
But what does Sirianni do? Gives it to Jalen Hurts twice. I mean, come on, man.
He's just trying to win, though. Like you and me get pissed off about it because we were on the Barkley 2+ touchdowns.
So you're telling me that there's no better chance that he's getting in compared to Saquon. Wouldn't you agree?
At the one, the tush push is like 99% success rate.
Man, fuck that guy, man.
I know. I'm with you, but we would fire Sirianni first. But the next guy that should be fired is Antonio Pierce. And I know the Raiders brought him back. He actually seemed like he did a good job getting rid of the dysfunction toward the end of last year. But I don't know if you watched this game. Like, it's 4th down. They're deep in the Rams territory. They kick a field goal instead of going for it, which was the first dumb thing.
Oh, yeah.
The second thing, which was probably the most egregious, is this guy's got 2 minutes and 35 seconds left in the game. All 3 timeouts. He lets it run down to the 2-minute warning, and then he calls his timeouts. If he calls those 3 timeouts, they probably get a play before the 2-minute warning. Only problem was Gardner Minshew was in at quarterback, and that's why the Brock Bowers didn't get to 100, buddy.
You're
the
right.
Second he came in, I threw it in the chat. I said, "Uh-oh, Gardner's in there."
You're absolutely right. We ended up 6 yards short, man. It sucks. We should have got that home.
Yeah, that was brutal. And it happened. So what are you going to do? But yeah, it's still Peterson. I think Antonio Pierce needs to go. We just don't like Sirianni. There's no way you fire Sirianni, though.
He's just a terrible head coach. Though.
Like, does Dable survive at this point? I know let him coach the rest of the season, but the Giants.
What can your expectations possibly be with that team? Like, they're not good. So what do you expect the guy to do? I think he's safe for now.
I mean, Drew Lock came in. Toward the end of that game, and he should have.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is just garbage. Everybody that's been clinging to hope for Daniel Jones, it's just not going to happen. He's like he's a back 20 quarterback in the NFL right now. So you're right. He doesn't have a quarterback, but there's a lot of other things that are they have major issues with that team.
He threw for 99 yards in that game. But I mean, to be fair, he's thrown for 236, 280, 260, 205. I mean, Danny Dimes has been, he's been slinging it, but a dreadful yesterday.
Yeah, and by the way, I would not bench Daniel Jones for Drew Lock because Drew Lock's garbage. He's not a good quarterback, so they should stick with him. Okay, last night's game, Sunday Night Football. The Jets allowed Russell Wilson to throw for 264. Najee Harris went nuts. This is supposed to be an elite defense, right? Davante Adams, before the game, you said the fish are going to be on Davante Adams, and I'm staying off of Davante Adams. What did Davante Adams do? He got 3 and 9 targets. So here's my question. Was Tomlin right going to Russell Wilson?
No.
Did they win that game last night with Fields?
I think so. I mean,
okay.
I wouldn't have pulled Fields. I thought he earned the start, Russ hasn't done anything. Why did he get the start? Because he was told he would?
Yeah. He looked good from the second quarter on.
I mean, I guess. I listen. The Jets were, I think, going into that game, like defensively first in yards per play in the league. I want to say, but Aaron Rodgers sucks, Holden. He's just not. He's washed.
He's washed officially.
It's over. It's
Yeah.
over. So good win for Pittsburgh.
What are they gonna do? Like they got to go out and draft another quarterback that they're not going to be able to develop.
Yep.
Oh, the Jets, man. It's just
That's-
absolutely Irish King. Go back to the start of the show and watch the start of the show. We gave all our plays out.
That's quite literally exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah. And they'll blow it again. So good luck. Good luck with that. Like button to be wonderful. If you're on X, come on over to YouTube. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our channel, YouTube channel, and turn on your notifications so you know when we're on. We're not going to give you a trillion notifications, okay? You'll just know when we're on. I forgot to bring it up and be more specific. Back to Mahomes real quick. 6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions so far through 6 games. Absolutely wild. And they're undefeated.
The takeaway from just to cap that Sunday night football game, the takeaway from that game is that we were 45 seconds away from making about 9 units in that game.
Why do you have to say that?
That Breece Hall 70-80 at 3 and 6 to 1, and 45 seconds later he goes for 60. I mean,
did you fix your mouse? Because you beat your mouse up.
Yeah. I ordered a new one today, but it's okay until it gets there. But like that's the timing, man. A split second in this game when you're betting live could make or break you. And unfortunately, we scraped profit last night, but we should have crushed.
Yeah, just murdered that. Absolutely
crushed.
Murdered that. Okay, couple other things to discuss. Niners, another injury. Brandon Ayuk now. Good news is CMC could be coming back week 10, but more injuries. They're 6-point favorites against Dallas coming off a bye. I don't know, man. This Niners team, I get it. You think that maybe they're going to turn the corner here? To me, last year after that, during that 3-game losing streak, I bet them to get through the NFC. I'm not doing it again right now, man. I'm not doing it.
They're in trouble. They're in trouble. It's a lot of bad luck, man. They cannot keep a complete team on the field one game this entire year.
Nope.
It's the reason why they've won 3 of 7. So they're in trouble, man. They are. They might not. They got to get their shit together quick, or they might not make the playoffs.
Yeah. Who's better in that division, though? Seriously.
Nobody, not even remotely close.
So they're probably going to backdoor to the division because the Seahawks are not a good team. Although their defense showed up yesterday, the Cardinals are not a good team. Maybe when Kupp and Puka are both back, the Rams take off again down the stretch, but we're burying the Niners. I still think they're probably going to win the division. They might win it at 10-7. They might win it at 9-8 in all seriousness.
Here's the one thing I'll say about this team. This could be what Kansas City did last year, where they're 8-5 through 13 weeks. Everybody's writing them off. They just don't look good at all. And then the team comes together. Everybody's healthy going into the playoffs. And all of a sudden, this team shows you who the fuck they are. You know what I mean? Like that could easily happen this year.
Well, yeah. And Debo had the squirts, so he didn't play. Kittle's been the best tight end in the NFL. CMC comes back. I mean, all of a sudden, you got 3 ridiculous playmakers that are still there for Brock Purdy. And Jennings will come back too. So again, offensively, I'm not worried about it, okay? And Fathead, the 49ers aren't winning the division. Come on, guys. Who's winning it then? The Seahawks are an 8-9, 9-8 team.
They would be my second pick for sure.
Yeah. What is the line on the Niners to win the division too? Because that to me, I just said I didn't want to go in on them, but the more we're talking this out, the more I kind of feel like maybe the Niners take care of this, right? Let's see here. I'm going to tell you the line right now. The line for the Niners to win the division is still anywhere from -185 to +115.
They're one game back, and they are 1-2 in the division. I mean, to say that they can't win the division against Seattle, the Cards, and the Rams is
Yeah.
fucking wild, fathead.
Yeah, I know.
Come on. That's wild.
They're just never going to beat the Chiefs. That's the only thing. Just never going to beat the Chiefs whatsoever. It's not going to happen. Not as long as Mahomes is there.
They have a better record than every team in the division right now, and they can't get out of their own way besides Seattle. And they're like a one win away from, I mean, I don't know, man. Plus, they have the tiebreak over Seattle because they put their dick 18 feet in the dirt.
Oh.
So, I mean, you know, I don't see how they don't win the division, even though they can't get out of their own way,
It's
man.
UTI waiting to happen. Thank you, Fathead. It takes a real man to admit that he's wrong. Hey, tomorrow, here's the deal. NBA is back. Spread Astaire is going to start doing the playbook. It's a video every single day. He's going to throw some Excel spreadsheet to Keg. Keg's going to put it up on the site. And every Wednesday night, Spread doing NBA, Zargo NHL. I'm just going to sit there and try and make it entertaining if I can. But we're doing a live NBA NHL betting show. So a lot of NBA. Zargo will chime in with his NHL picks. Wednesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern time. Write it down. Wednesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern time. We're going to launch our live show. So NBA is a great sport to bet. Even if you don't like the NBA, it is still a great sport to bet. All right, just a couple things I want to bring up, then let's get out of here. Lions Vikings yesterday. You mentioned how good Goff is. David Montgomery got hurt. Gibbs comes out, picks up the slack. Amon-Ra St. Brown scoring touchdowns, I think 4 straight games. They don't even use Laporta. I don't know what happened to that guy. This offense is something else, man. And after just getting trampled early on by Darnold in that Vikings offense, the defense stepped up too, man.
Yep.
So yeah. the Lions are there. And the Vikings, let's start with the Vikings. Smoke and mirrors or still a playoff team? Or both?
Both, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, listen, Detroit is right now the best team in the NFC. I mean, that's just what it is right now.
All 4 teams over 500 in the division, by the way.
Yeah, they're the best. They're the best team in the NFC, and I think the second best team in the NFC is probably in the same division. It's probably Green Bay. So yeah, I mean, Minnesota could still can they make the playoffs? Yeah, it's possible, but Detroit did what we thought they would do. Now, it's unfortunate that we didn't get the -3.5 and the -6.5 home, because they let them back in the game late, but they were in full control of that game the entire way after Aaron Jones scored that first touchdown. Yeah. They're just a different class of team, really. Even though they just scraped out a win, and I get it, but they're just a different class of team. And I know the Packers lost to Minnesota already this year, but I still think they're better than Minnesota by a pretty considerable margin. So yeah, I think the NFC North is legit, bro. That is the toughest division in football right now, and it's not even close. It is not even close.
What happened to Laporta? Well, I think some of those targets are going to Jameson Williams right now. Although Williams did nothing, literally nothing yet. Did he end up with minus yards? He was awful. He was just gone.
I'm not sure.
I mean, the pecking order right now is Amon-Ra, whoever the running back du jour in the passing game is, Jameson Williams, and Laporta's just not being used. Like, imagine if Laporta starts getting used in that offense. Forget about it. Forget about it. All right, one last storyline. I know you want to talk about something. What?
Do we know what the prognosis is on Montgomery?
They haven't come out with anything that I saw.
Okay.
No, they could have, but I didn't see it. And all I do is just scour through this thing. So, and speaking of the Vikings, you're going to get Hawkinson back. Dan Campbell here. I just found it. David Montgomery's knee injury, not considered long-term. So it could be a situation where he sits, and we'll see we'll see where they put the numbers at for Gibbs if he's got the backfield to himself, because that's going to be, that kid is something special. 2 other notes. First of all, Adam yesterday said Saquon Barkley is slow. Do you remember when he said that?
Yeah, Adam is a little crazy sometimes.
Barkley reached the top speed of 21.93 miles on his 55-yard run, second fastest speed by any ball carrier this year behind Brian Thomas at 22.15.
Yeah, Holden, Adam Myers says some things sometimes,
Well, he's great.
Well,
But
he doesn't believe it, but he's really turning into a solid handicapper. I'm
he
proud.
won't talk about his personal life, and he thinks that Saquon's slow.
Bro, I say this all the time. I build fucking machines.
All right. Well, I'm in training.
Yeah.
I got my training wheels
You got
on.
a long way to go, though. My
four-wheel scooter. Soon I'll be on a three. By the end of the season, I'll be on a three-wheeled scooter, and hopefully next year I'll be up to a two-wheel scooter. Then I'll be on a unicycle.
Right now, you got a micro machine.
Yeah, I got a micro.
You know what I mean?
You love busting my balls, but you know what? I bust my own balls about it, and I got no problem with it. So we got winners here. I don't have to be a winner yet. All I got to do is host shows and do shit behind the scenes. Last thing I want to talk about, Deshaun Watson, Achilles, he's done for the year. Browns fans are happy. Saw a great GIF out on the X machine where he goes, yeah, I did tear my Achilles, and my Achilles is on my dick. So I thought that was a great line. It couldn't have happened to a worse dude. That's all I can say. It could not. I never have rooted for an injury. I don't think I've ever rooted for an injury. This guy deserves it. This guy deserves it. I don't care if he ever plays again. He belongs in prison. He got out of it because he's got a lot of money, and that's that. I'm a long-term project.
You're a long-term.
I got much time left on this earth, dude. I'm 50 already. So I don't know how long it's going to take. If it takes 30 years, I'm going to be dead.
You know what my thoughts are on Deshaun Watson? My thoughts are, fuck that guy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know what I mean? Like, he shouldn't have been a starter in the league anyway. Just be happy you're making $2.5 million a week. He gets paid $5 million every 2 weeks.
Show some.
And he is the worst quarterback in the history of the sport through 7 weeks old.
Show some class, Eddie. Come on, dude. This guy, again, the dude should be in prison for sexually assaulting dozens of women, allegedly. I mean,
allegedly.
Get out of here, Eddie. Again, I don't root for guys to get injured, but if there's one guy that I'm not sad to see his career possibly over, like somebody will give him another chance. I guess he'll go back to the Browns. And the Browns are completely hamstrung as an organization. They got no chance.
I will fall off my chair if he ever starts another game in this league again.
Well, we said that about Michael Vick, and he came back and was really good. But this guy's he's a POS. That's what he is.
Yeah, he's a backup though. Like, he's just not good enough to start. The Browns are going to have to eat that contract. You fucked up, man.
Their biggest mistake was letting Joe Flacco go. It's a playoff team with Joe Flacco.
100%. They're going to have to eat that contract and move on.
All right. Like button would be great. We are live for the doubleheader tonight, still free. Our payment vendor is going to be back up this week, so you're going to have to pay for it, and it's worth it. What did you say? It's like $15 a day or something? $15, not even. It's like $2 a day.
Bro,
we're just not charging enough.
I figured out I stream 30 hours a week, right? 120 hours a month. It cost about 50 cents an hour to watch my show and tail me, which is wild.
It's too cheap.
When you consider what I do, that's wild.
Do you want to open it back up and charge like $89.99?
My mom
and grandfather everybody in that's already in there.
My mom called me and said, you charge not enough money for the amount that you win. And I was like, I know, Mom. I know.
Just get in now, because this price is not going to be here next year. It's going to be a lot more. I'm just telling you. Let me just say, Eddie, I love you, man. I love having you in the chat, but I'm not ripping him for getting injured. I'm ripping him for forcing women to jack him off when they didn't want to. Okay? Big difference. Don't mind that he's hurt, but
that's fair.
Things, and I can't stand that. I've got a family member that happened to her. Don't like him. Piece of garbage. Rest in peace, Deshaun Watson. Go away. Hope we never see you again in the NFL. Go play in the CFL. They won't even take him in the CFL.
Probably not.
All right. Like button would be great. On the way out, subscribe to our YouTube channel, turn on notifications. Most importantly, about 8:10 tonight, Keg will be on there, probably Adam. I'll show up about 25 minutes later. We will have both games of the doubleheader tonight. And I'm really, 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 really excited about this.
Yeah, man. Let's make some money, boys. It's
All
gonna
right.
be
So if I'm a 10-cent deduction, Cam, it's still a great deal. It's still a great deal. Okay.
Everybody come hang out tonight. It's going to be a free show. We're going to try to make some money for you guys. And then hopefully after tomorrow, website will be locked down. We'll be taking payments again. Let's go.
Oh God, that's going to be so nice. And then the last thing is 8:10. What are you LOLing me for? Am I wrong with the time of the game or something like that? Adam looked at me last night and he's like, that's what time the games are. Yeah. 8:15 and 9:00. We got late games tonight.
Yeah, so we'll
8:10.
probably start a couple minutes before kick. Yeah.
Yeah, 8:10's good. I like 8:10. Sounds like a round number almost.
It'll be me, Adam, and Maddie until you get there.
Love the Maddie. Love the Maddie. This guy does so much for us behind the scenes. All right, let's get out of here, buddy. Best bet. You're going to go Ravens team total over 26.5.
Yes, sir.
All the plays are up on the spreadsheet. They're in the Discord and the in-game plays. You know, Keg's going to be pumping out more of these plays. I'm not even going to do the outro music. I'm so confident we're going to win money tonight. Here's what I'm doing.
Oh, boy.